You take center stage.
So, gentlemen, your thoughts. Start with you, Joe. What do you think about it?
I think it'd be, well, for one, it's not fair, like Mike was saying. You know, they're taking it away from us, the hunters. Two, I think it's somewhat of the hunters that, you know, we didn't take the responsibility of shooting does. You know, being in the taxidermy business over the 20 years I've been doing it, talking to guys, and it's like, you know, I don't shoot does because does bring bucks. But, you know, you have to take those.
Right.
You know, you have a doe, you got, you know, 100 does, and out of 100 does, 50 of them have twins. You know, it's,
So how can we, as a hunting community locally, address the problem in your mind?
shoot the does.
Shoot the
You know,
does.
shoot, you know, my opinion, you're shooting a mature buck in October. He's not breeding in October, he's breeding in November. You just killed the gene. You know, eventually, you start shooting all these mature bucks in October, you're killing the gene pool. You know, I started hunting in the mid-'80s, and I think back then there were more mature bucks than there are now. You know, my personal opinion.
Right.
And I think it's, you know, this October season, these guys are just killing bucks. And a lot of these guys are baiting, which is illegal, and they're killing these big bucks in the early stage. I mean, yeah, I can be wrong, but that's, you know, that's my opinion.
Right.
You know,
What about some of the other measures that we've proposed as far as, you know, reducing the footage requirement, those type of things? Is that something that you feel is good, bad?
the state is pushing to try to do 150 feet, but as a homeowner, would you want someone with your kids in your backyard 150 feet from your house?
Yeah, personally, you know,
You know, it's,
we formally proposed 250, but we tried to talk about as coupling with an elevation requirement. That you had to, basically, if you were going to have the reduced yardage, that you would have to be shooting from anywhere between 6 to 12 feet, which would, of course, it's only bow hunting we're talking about, would obviously eliminate collateral damage you know, towards that end.
but, I mean, I look at it as you get a 160 or a 140 class deer that's walking across someone's lawn and you're there, they're taking a shot
It's
at
tough to pass up.
it. I mean, and you know,
That's a little hard to
you know,
pass.
it's gonna be hard to pass.
You ask any DEC officer, and they're going to tell you it's 500 feet because we know they're going to be 250 feet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're saying if you go 150 feet, those hunters are now going to be 75 feet.
Yeah,
You
they're
know,
gonna be on top of
so
the
that's
house.
why, and I get that argument.
Right.
You know, but we got to realize: do we have a problem with deer, or don't we?
Right.
Do we need to? Do we want to correct it? Can we loosen restrictions now
Right.
and turn them back on later? Of course we can.
Yeah,
We
just
can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me that there is a problem, but the solution is right there for us as hunters, right here locally. We're more than equipped. We want to solve the problem, but yet by regulation we're stopped from doing so. And whether you take all of the recommendations in total, or even if you accept some of them in part or parcel, or if you take a component of a footage requirement, there's certainly a solution. Craig, what's you're the most elder statesman here. You've probably seen the population of deer.
I've seen the deer population change, yes. My feeling on this is that this overpopulation problem on Long Island can be controlled by hunting, but we need to make a few changes there, okay? We're saying that we have too many deer, but we're restricting what we're allowed to do, okay? Let's talk about baiting, okay? Now, baiting has a bad name in New York, it's illegal, all right? 37 states allow it, okay? Now, what I think we should do is we should make baiting part of the bow and hunting certification in New York. Proper baiting is okay, improper baiting is not. Okay. So let's teach proper baiting instead of writing tickets to guys who go out and bait, right? Even if we charge for a baiting permit, so that, okay, you want to bait, you got to pay for a baiting permit, okay? All right, so the state gets their money there. Okay, now you know how to bait. What baiting does is it reduces cripples and it increases the deer harvest. That's what we're looking for, right?
Absolutely.
So we allow baiting, okay? Again, 150 feet is too close. 250 feet is a good distance from a house, elevated. Because on Long Island, we're not allowed to use rifles. This culling program will allow rifle shooting from the people hired to do the culling. Well, let's not break the law and allow rifle shooting here. Let's do this with archery from an elevated position where the arrow is shot down. That reduces the chance of any accidents happening.
Right.
And accidents in the past with rifles have happened. Okay, so we get rid of that problem. So let's bait the deer properly and let's shoot them as hunters.
And what do you mean by baiting properly?
Well, all right, what we look at with baiting is disease spreading. We don't want to spread disease on Long Island amongst our deer herd. We have a good, healthy deer herd. Let's keep that, okay? That's spread by saliva. So putting a pile of bait down and having the deer eat out of that pile spreads saliva. You broadcast the food. Deer live by their noses, okay? They can smell it. You don't need to make a big pile for them to know it's there. Spread it out. Bring them in. If you bait 20 yards away from your tree stand, you know your distance, you get a good clear shot at them, you reduce cripples, you increase deer kill.
Absolutely.
And you satisfy the homeowner. Because if you have a homeowner that says, hey, we'd love to have you in here, we have deer bedded down behind our pools, our sheds, we'd like you to come in, but we don't want you to shoot over there because we'd like you to shoot right here.
Right.
I can now target an area where that deer will come into, and we can hunt in a safe distance away from the house, shoot in a safe direction,
Right.
and that homeowner is happy because it's been done in North Haven.
Oh, it's been done,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been done.
it's been done all, actually,
And very
And
successful.
it's successful.
in North
yeah,
Haven, too.
and
Yeah,
also,
and New Jersey,
and
and New
also,
Jersey
and
as
also
well.
in Quag.
Right.
And, you know, recently, my home community, Remsenburg here, the Remsenburg Association, I sat down with recently, and I used to be president of the Remsenburg Association, and I dealt with this problem, and I sat down with them recently, and, you know, offered to have IHE provide the qualified hunters for the program, because I know these are qualified hunters, ethical hunters, to administer the program. And what the large amount of the community, I expected it to be otherwise, but about 80% of the community wanted involvement in this.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was attractive was them that they could cater their hunting program. You don't just have to say, okay, I'm opening up my property to hunting. They could say, I want it on Saturdays,
Right.
but between this hour, or I want it on this day.
Right.
So they can really micromanage the administration of the program
Right.
to really make a difference. And people need to realize that. And you know, certainly people need to realize that. So
Absolutely.
I think the point is that obviously we have a crisis on our hands. But again, crisis breeds opportunity. I'm hoping that we as a hunting community can address it. I want to thank all you gentlemen for coming
Yeah, thank
down
you.
tonight. We're all going to keep fighting the good fight towards that end. And we have gifts for you tonight, some t-shirts from IHE. Hopefully you'll wear them proudly. And once again, I really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
for coming down.
Thanks for having us.
I'll ask you to step off camera and I'll just finish up with our closing. All right, so that's the end of our program. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I apologize for the rough beginning, some technical difficulties. This is our inaugural broadcast, so hopefully we'll be moving into a studio on the next broadcast. This broadcast is scheduled to go on once per month. Again, I'd like to invite everyone who's watching to join IHE. It's free. To tell a friend about it. Once again, it's your organization. This is not a for-profit organization. It's a non-for-profit organization. When you get involved, you're entitled to the newsletter, The Harvest. You're entitled to the hunting video production, of which you can be a part of. There's guidelines for submission, but we can send out cameramen. This is something that's really organic, and we want everyone to be involved. So please go on, become a member, sign the petition for Hunters for Deer. We need to combat that, obviously. And again, I thank you for tuning in. And until next month, I'm Christian Kaloran signing off. Good luck afield. Thanks for tuning in. it.